I got
You gotta
yeah.
like, do I do it like this or like how far?
Oh man, I got these guys on hitting scratch offs now. We're about to find out who's a millionaire within the LSD crew.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's so funny because like when you walk into a venue, it's always like check, check,
Yeah.
1, check, check. And it's funny when I don't know, one day I was just like, uh-huh, uh-huh, yeah. And then I heard somebody in the audience go, uh-huh. I was like, uh-huh. Like, this is cool. This could be a thing.
What's this
Yeah,
puppy's
thanks, man.
name?
This is Leo.
Leo.
Leo's a good dog. He doesn't know
Leo
how big
Gag.
he is. He doesn't know what he's doing in life. He doesn't know what he wants, but
Seems like
he's a
you
good
got it
boy.
figured out.
My wife is from Port Neches, Texas, and they found him and his brother on the side of the road off I-10 out there. And, you know, here we are 8 years later, man.
I'm a dog off the 10.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's up, guys? Where was the show last night?
Saxon Pub.
Saxon Pub. All right. Was that with Under the Rock?
So Under the Rock and West Texas Exiles were right.
Okay.
They were right before.
Right before. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is that your first time playing Saxon?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
We've been doing it there like at least once a month for all year.
Oh, okay.
We actually played their New Year's from 24 into 25.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Man, so I mean, y'all been getting around town, like, and you know, we talked on the article earlier, but is there a venue that you haven't played at yet, like a goal venue that you haven't really? Moody Center.
Yeah,
ACL,
right.
ACL Live.
Man,
Yeah.
the 04 Center would be really cool off of Lamar.
Mm.
That's like a kind of like a theater room,
Yeah.
church.
Yeah.
Thing.
Is that? I mean, I've never seen a band there. I've always seen like singer songwriters. I mean, is that a room for bands?
Yeah, I've
never been in
04
there.
Center? Yeah.
Yeah, right
I
there off
think-
South. I used to live right there, so I'd go
Yeah.
check out. I saw Joe James there a couple years ago and all that. So just want to go around the room, kind of name favorite. I'm just kidding. Just tell me who you are and what your role is in the band. Start with you.
Okay.
We'll start with
Dude, this is why we need the video.
my job is to keep it light and keep the boys laughing. That's why I'm here, purely for charisma and looks. You know,
Yeah, all right.
It's the only reason that I love these boys to death.
No,
But
it's good. It's kind of like Slipknot's got the dudes who just fight in the back. You're just there for the charisma. No
Pretty
instruments.
much.
He actually plays a toy guitar.
Oh, there you go.
yeah, it's not even plugged
It's
in.
actually
It's
back-
like
it's all
lip
backing
syncing,
track.
but
Yeah.
guitar.
I got a Spider-Man one if you want to borrow it.
Spider-Man what? Guitar?
Oh yeah, brother.
Oh, dude, I'm a Guitar Hero shredding king, dude. I'm telling you. No, I can't
He can play on
Guitar Hero.
expert mode.
No, I actually can't play Guitar Hero, but
Little, it's not plugged
I
in.
play lead guitar in the band, and man, it's a great. It's awesome, man. Yeah.
No name lead guitarist.
Yeah.
Oh, my name is Shudawgy. Yeah.
John Core. Write songs, sing the songs, play guitar in the band.
I'm James. I play the bass and sing harmonies.
He's also the musical director.
Musical.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's the resume title.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna put as my Facebook job.
Yeah.
I'm Brian Bounds, and I play drums and sing
Cool.
backup vocals.
Brian, you know, we first met at the merch tent, so I really appreciate y'all's willingness to come out and hang. You know, I'm a dad and a guy who loves music and just wanted to be part of the community somehow. And so I really appreciate y'all coming out to some random dude's house on a Sunday afternoon. The whole intention here is just kind of figure out and talk about who you guys are and how you were started. So start with the name. Where does that come from?
Well, so the name is a joke. It was a joke. I mean, I guess now it's the band's. So it's what we're rolling with. But,
Yeah.
It was a joke that started out, I guess, about 4 years ago.
Okay.
When I came out to Austin, I moved to Austin. I was living in Nashville for about 6 years,
All right.
writing songs, doing the thing out there, and then the lockdown happened, and I popped down to Louisiana, and people were out there playing music. So I decided to be where the people are playing music.
Yep.
Moved back home and joined a band out there and played out with this group for about 9 months. Brian came and played with us, which was cool. And
Where in Louisiana was this?
I was living in Crowley,
Okay.
right outside of Lafayette.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was playing in a band called Medicine with Zach
Mhm.
Edwards. And we came out to Austin, and we played South by Southwest,
Mhm.
and it was a reuniting because with Bishop and Bercy from Nether Hour. I
Mhm.
grew up with Bishop.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so literally I've
That's
known Bishop. I've
badass.
known Bishop since I've known people.
Wow.
Like I literally little league baseball, soccer, you know what
Damn.
I'm saying? Like probably known Bishop since I was like 6 years old, 7 years old, something like
Man,
that.
it's funny how the world works.
Yeah, we both
God,
learned
it's
how to
funny.
play guitar together and
Yeah.
all that stuff's just crazy. And then
Landing kick flips.
yeah, skateboarding.
I never
yeah.
landed a kickflip.
So yeah, so ended up coming to Austin, reuniting with I hadn't seen Bishop since high school, so I hadn't seen Bishop in a decade. And it was funny because it was almost as if we didn't miss a step. It was right back into it, the
Yeah.
same old thing, except
Yeah.
grown men, whatever. And so Bercy ended up needing a guitar player for his solo stuff, and he invited me to stay around town.
Okay.
And hang out in town and come to Austin to come play guitar with him on his solo stuff, and ended up coming here and doing that, and did that for I guess 3 or 4 weeks, and then Bercy was like, "Hey, do you want a residency at Friends Bar?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay." So ended up packing up and moving out here to Austin, and then get to playing at Friends, and Bercy was like, "What's your band name?" And it just so happened like a day or two before that, I was in downtown Lafayette, just walking around being like, man, thinking about life. Like I'd moved from Tennessee back to Louisiana, and I thought I was going to stay in Louisiana. I had a buddy of mine. We moved to Louisiana, built a recording studio.
Oh, wow.
I had everything
Yeah,
there.
you had the setup.
But there was some sort of like calling to be like, hey, man, you got to like be here in Texas. You got to be here in Austin. There's something, I could feel it. And so I was just walking around Lafayette trying to clear my mind, and I walked by this Louisiana State Department building, and I looked by and it says Louisiana State Department. And I took a few steps and I was like, no way. LSD? It's been like that my whole life, That's why they don't have Louis. It's always Louis. There's never
that acronym.
Yeah, it's never LS. So I was like, this is hilarious. So when Bercy asked me that, I had that little moment. I laughed to myself. I was like, Berce, did you know that Louisiana State Department, it's LSD? We both started laughing, and so I was like, band name, Louisiana Surf Department, because you don't hear about people surfing in Louisiana, but people do surf in Louisiana. Come to find out after we put the band name. So they surf out in New Orleans. They'll surf off the wake of the barges and stuff like that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
No, you won't find me in there, but
no.
I'll be watching.
The cats who are surfing out there are
that's a special. That's a
yeah,
special
yeah. They're
lover.
really
It's
really
game.
for it. Yeah, yeah. So
Damn. All right.
it started out as a joke, and then Bercy and I would play as the Louisiana Surf Department, but it wasn't like this thing. It was like we would just go and like make up music for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Or we would just play like 1-4-5 standard blues or like country or like old time music, and just see how far we could take those songs and just make the gig happen.
Right.
And then eventually Brian and I were playing together, and James came along through Shudawgy. James showed up in our lives. And Brian and James really believed in the songs that I'd been writing. They're like, let's do this thing. And so I reached out to a friend of mine of ours named Sam Norris from Ellis Bullard.
Okay.
And he's in the Chili Dogs now. And started recording songs, recorded 5 songs, and they had a few months and came up with probably 50 to 100 different band names through this process. I got a whole list in my phone, and I was telling Bishop, like, yeah, I got all this music recorded, and I was like, just trying to figure out a name. He was like, figure out a name? He's like, you got the best band name, man, Louisiana Surf Department. I was like, dude, I don't want to because the whole LSD thing. It's like not looking to put people on drugs or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, life, you don't need drugs, but it was like, it's a joke and whatever. And he said it, and then asked other folks, and they were like, "Dude, you got to keep that name." So
Got to give people what
chosen
they
by the
want.
people, man.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so,
Thank
yeah.
God.
are any of those songs that you guys have put out now?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which ones are those?
So the first run of songs, it was You Got It All,
Hmm.
Soda Pop and Sugar Cane. Let's see, it was
Ain't nothing wrong.
Ain't
with
Nothing
You.
Wrong with You. Yep.
Good
And
People.
Good People that made the first EP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then following that, it's all the songs that we're playing now.
All right.
No Matter was a cool one. Kind of showed up in Brian's house. We were jamming. That one just showed up like that. And then, yeah, all the ones right now, Bright, High and Dry. Bright and High and Dry were two songs that were written in Nashville.
Okay.
Those are both like COVID era songs.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Man, the amount of collaborations with local musicians is awesome, and everybody has collaborations, right? But like, No Time for a Bad Time is like, it just makes me so happy to be from Austin. First of all, it's just a fucking phenomenal song, and it's I was driving one day and y'all just released it. And I was like, the fathers of phenomenal Friday tunes or something like that, because it was just like it was just so upbeat, and it had all of like great Austin musicians on it, man.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, the Austin music community, the more, I mean, you did a stint in Nashville. From your time in Nashville, like, I guess, what are the big differences that you experienced out there? Obviously, you kind of quit because of COVID and everything, but like, what were the big differences that you saw, just in terms of the music scene and all that stuff?
Well, they both have a lot of similarities. People getting together,
Yeah.
working on music.
Yeah.
One of my dear friends, and I'd say like a mentor of mine, Austin Roach, says you can describe them and like it can be separated by like a question.
Hmm.
Nashville is, what's going on? What do you have going on?
Mm.
And then Austin is what's happening. And it's just like Nashville's very very professional,
Yeah.
professional music scene.
Yeah.
Very, the musicians there are, you hear like headhunters, people who are so great, like the pizza guy, like, the guy who's going to deliver your pizza can play circles around you.
Yeah.
Right. But then Austin there's something being out here, people getting together and celebrating and just enjoying themselves for the sake of enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
And this is the place where the hippies and the cowboys, came together and
Yeah.
celebrated, and yeah. So the difference would just be they're both great. I do miss Nashville. I miss Nashville for the sake of like, man, like some of the greatest in the world, are just there.
It's just where
all
they-
the
where
major
they are.
labels are and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And here in Austin, I mean, I'd say it now. I mean, from living here for about 4 years, the greatest in the world are also here. They're just doing it a little differently,
Mhm.
And yeah, out here I'm from South Louisiana. My grandfather is from Texas.
Yeah.
So, I grew up coming to Texas, and it's closer to Louisiana. So that's why I ended up being like, wow, this is the place for me,
Yeah.
just because of the familiarity. And then also my childhood friend is here, and also Bercy, another, friend of mine from music back in the day. So it's like, yeah, they're both great.
Yeah. I mean, I asked that because everybody has a different answer, right? About their
Yeah.
experiences and everything. People come in from having lived in Chicago, people having lived in LA and all that stuff. And, as a fan and as somebody who's not necessarily in the scene from being in a band and stuff, from my perspective, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of support around Austin musicians that I see. I mean, just the things like Ham and Sims and all the organizations that support musicians, right? And I think just the community of people here have a general respect for musicians, and not that they don't in Nashville. I'm not saying that at all. But my point is like, guys like me, right, exist here in Austin that just want to talk about music all the time and support local Austin musicians. And I'm not the only one that sits in this chair, right? And I'm sure it exists in Nashville and LA and all that stuff, but the more and more I talk to musicians, it's just the community aspect of the musicians here in town. And I, you know, hell, like I said, the first time I saw you guys was at Nico's show, you know, and just that lineup right there. And you talked on Friends, like that bubble that has come out of the Friends and that is continuing. Like I had no idea the amount of players that play at Friends, you know, until I started honestly this show. And I went out one time with Nico and he was like, is that dude, is that dude, is that dude, you know? It's just cool to have that in town. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we were talking a little bit earlier about, so you've been in Austin playing about 4 years, and then how'd y'all get hooked up with this Dubai tour?
So that was
Or
through
not tour, but
our dear friend and brother Zach Tellender.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got some involvement with Texas A&M somehow.
Zach's involved in all sorts of
All
things.
right.
Yeah.
So so he was out there and he brought you on as his band, or
So talking about Friends,
Yeah.
I was playing at Friends one day. This is a kind of a funny thing. I was playing at Friends and doing a solo thing, and Bobby from Nether Hour was playing after me, and so I packed my stuff up. Bobby walked in, you know, he set his stuff up, and then this dude walks in, and Zach, I didn't know Zach at all, and I thought he was just a songwriter, friend of Bob's, and Bob invites him up, and Zach plays his song "Yeah Right," and he plays two others. I think he also played "Moving" by what's that guy's name?
John Fulbright.
John Fulbright, yeah. But yeah, so Zach gets off stage. Bob takes a break and introduces Zach to Zach and I. And Zach just starts talking about, yeah, I've got all these songs and I need a guitar player. You know, I'd like a guitar player to come and play with me. Would you like to come and play? I've got these shows at Sunset Strip and all that stuff. And he's like, sure. And then gives me his cell phone number. And then I go to Brian's, I think the next day. It's like the following day, I go to Brian's and I was like, well, this Zach guy said he wanted to hang out. He's got some cool songs. Let's, you know, invite him over. And Brian barbecues. And so Zach comes over and we start hanging out. And Zach walks in the house and just immediately wants to start like playing like old time songs.
Yeah.
He just grabs a guitar. It's just Zach, you know, and starts wanting to play like Will the Circle Be Unbroken and stuff like that. And we're all just hanging out and we start playing. Then he plays some of his tunes. And then before you know it, I don't know, it was like 2-3 weeks after, maybe 4 weeks, Zach's like, okay, we're going to the studio, we're going to record these songs, you know. We're like, all right. Yeah, so that's kind of how it started.
Is that when y'all recorded High and Dry?
No, that's
No,
when we
we-
recorded Yeah Right.
Okay. All right. That's
Yeah.
And so was that before or after the UK tour? Sorry, I'm kind of
That was
bouncing
before.
around.
So this is all probably 9 months, 10 months before we went to, I mean, it wasn't long. I mean, it really wasn't that long.
Was this before January 1st?
Yes.
I think that happened. Yeah, all
It
that
was
stuff
like
happened
late- it was
before we
late
started
May.
The Louisiana Surf Department.
Oh,
kind of
really?
Officially.
Okay.
Yeah, it was late. Oh yeah. Because we did. So we ended up. Yeah, we recorded. Yeah, right, and several other songs. Let's see. I guess late May, early June, July, and then did that thing. And then at the turn of the year following January, we started recording our first EP. Kept playing with Zach. Kept doing studio stuff with Zach. And then we're definitely brother bands. I mean, we're Zach. You know, we are Zach's musicians in his band.
We started playing shows at the same time. Like
Yeah.
the Surf Department music, that like kind of officially starting to play shows in like January, February, and Zach had started putting gigs together, and you know we were essentially then playing in both bands.
I see.
He was recruiting us to come play as his backing band for his original tunes.
I mean, awesome music, man. It's there you go.
That's what it's about, man. It's
prime
a whole-
example.
Yeah.
that was the seed of what would turn into that England trip.
Okay.
Because you know he had invited us to come play, and he'd also invited some other musicians to come play as a larger outfit with Austin Roach and Chris Mead, and then that group of 6 ended up being the group that went to that when Zach got that opportunity. Ended up going to UK.
Okay.
And then turns out we got to play some Louisiana Surf Department slots on that trip as well. And so it was like, you know, it was just like, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot
this
of
is
stage
awesome,
time.
dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
We're
so-
getting to play both sets.
Yeah.
You know?
Where in the UK did y'all go?
First show is in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
what-
then Derby.
Okay.
Derby.
And then Warwick. And then
Spelled like Derby.
yeah, it
Oh,
says
okay.
Derby. It says- it says-
Yeah, we just
don't
picked
call
up
it
on the
don't
accent
call it
there.
Derby out there. Derby.
That's how you,
It's not Warwick. It's
Warwick.
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 So was
Yeah.
it like here's these Texas boys, so everybody's coming up with like their cowboy hats
Oh,
and
yeah.
Oh,
boots
dude,
and
we
polos
look
and
like
shit.
aliens, man. Like we definitely look like some.
Time traveling.
Yeah, we look. Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, we're kind of.
There's already like a thing that happens when two or more of us get together where it's just
Yeah.
like this kind of glowing thing. But like
Yeah.
when 5 or 6 of us are walking through, you know, getting on a plane or whatever,
yeah.
and people are just like, hey, so what's the band?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They
Yeah.
just know. That's awesome.
My favorite thing though was like walking through some of these gigs and the shows that we played were actually kind of festivals. They were actually kind of themed festivals,
Okay.
like American music, particularly
Interesting.
like country, you know,
Mm.
quote unquote
Mhm.
American country music in England. And so they would give away like hundreds of cowboy hats, quote unquote.
Yeah, we literally had cowboy hats on the stage, and they were like, "You have to throw these cowboy
It's
hats."
funny because
out.
they were actually like, I think they were more of like lederhosen cowboy
Yeah.
type of hats or whatever. But
They were funny.
to everybody
Yeah.
from there, they
Yeah.
were cowboy.
I mean,
Cowboy
honestly,
hats.
everybody coming to Austin the first time they get a cowboy hat, it's like those. Just I don't know how to describe them, but they're just god ugly.
Yeah.
Just I don't know how to describe them.
Convenience store.
Yeah,
cowboy.
exactly. Dude, I don't
You
know.
can get a good one at the convenience store though.
Listen,
There's
Yeah,
good
with that
ones out
little
there.
shop across the street from Friends, they've got some pretty good looking
Yeah.
hats.
Yeah,
Or-
we stuck out like sore thumbs.
Yeah.
Like we'd be
Yeah.
walking through and we'd multiple times would get the "Are you a proper cowboy?" Like,
Yeah.
you know, that was
They were like, "You even have the accent." It's
Wow,
like,
you
"No,
even-
I'm from the
you even
United
have that.
States,
from the
you know."
South, bro.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh," and they have to pull their friends up, and they're like, "Oh," you know,
Yeah.
asking you questions and stuff like that, and yeah, it's cool.
So was it all 4 of y'all touring?
It was us. It was us 3.
Okay.
We were playing as a trio.
I was at home watching the kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Tuning up
Shudawgy
to-
hadn't
tune of
re-entered the
plastic.
picture yet.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
when we met Shudawgy, that was through I guess Bobby and the Nether Hour crew.
Yep, that was through
Okay.
through Bercy and Bobby.
and we became friends. And this is before we met James, and so
It's not like 2023.
yeah.
Okay.
March
And he came over to my
2023.
house and jammed, similarly to how Zach did, and
Yeah.
but you were back and forth between Tennessee and Louisiana, and so he was
Yeah,
kind of ended up living on the road again right after we
And
met
playing
him.
in bands or just
Yeah.
live?
Yeah, I mean, bands sometimes if I could, getting gigs when I could.
Yeah.
Playing on the street, doing
but soloing
whatever.
everywhere. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just doing whatever, man.
So, and by the way, it's not an SG that you play, but it's an SG body. What is that?
It's I've heard it called a Chipson, a Chinese
oh,
Gibson.
okay.
It doesn't have a name on it.
Doesn't matter. Sounds fucking great.
I got 57 classics in it, and it plays just fine.
All right.
Yeah.
But so y'all met through Birdsey, through the crew.
Yeah.
And so
the
then
circle.
he had either met or heard of James on Instagram or
Yeah.
something, and invited James. I guess
Yeah.
you just cold DM'd him.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like he followed me, and I saw he was a bass player, and I was like, "Hey, man, let's jam." And he was like, "Okay." And I invited him to the house with y'all that one night.
Yeah, he reached out to me, and I was like, "Got this guy coming over." It was like a Wednesday or something.
Yeah.
Because we were looking for a bass
Yeah.
player.
No, he didn't say guy. He
know?
said I have this kid.
Oh,
I have this
yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
Man, didn't know anything about James. And so
That's
old
good.
Shoe Dog was like, "There's this kid coming over,"
There's
and
a few
you were
years
running
age difference
behind,
here.
and you're like, "Yeah, he's gonna be there at 6 or something like that." And like 6 o'clock, knock on the door, and I was expecting so much as a kid. I'm like, it's gonna be like an
16
18-year-old,
Yeah.
19-year-old bass player.
Yeah.
Kid, he's younger than Shoe Doggy.
We ended
That's
up
not
being-
open the door. I was like, "This is a grown ass man."
That's Dr.
Kid.
Carter.
Full ass.
Yeah.
That's Dr. Carter, man.
The kid's on his way. Yeah.
Yeah, and that meeting was cool because it was just me and John for like probably like half an hour to an hour.
Oh,
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
just
I was working or something.
hanging
Yeah,
and
yeah. We were
stuff,
waiting for you to get off work. Yep.
yeah, and then eventually everybody got together and we were jamming some of Shudawgy's tunes. It was cool. And then the first tune that we jammed that's like a Surf Department song was No Matter. And it was like kind of like while it was being written and stuff. And that all happened like in that time, like March 23, you know. And then the band, we didn't really like start the band until
January
1st, 24.
24. Yeah.
yeah.
Man, the universe is just hooking y'all up left and right. Then, man,
It's crazy, man. Well, but on
Seriously.
the kind of timeline with Shudawgy is that when after we met James, well, then he goes kind of on the road again, and you bounced around for a couple of years.
Yeah, I didn't see these guys for 3 years, 3.5 years,
You
something like
would pop.
that.
You would pop
I'd
in
pop
for a
in
second.
for a moment and I'd
Yeah.
see who I could see. And I knew on Sundays Nether Hour was there, so I'd see
Yeah.
all the homies coming there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like I showed back up and these guys went from, you know, just sitting in the living room, not really knowing each other to like gigging every day.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, man, these guys have really been putting in the work.
Yeah.
Man. Like,
Right on. And so,
so before he would show up again, Shudawgy, you know, like you said, we started the band, kept the name, and then we were gigging as much as we possibly could, and getting in the studio for REP, but also getting in the studio with Zach.
okay.
Um,
Where were y'all recording?
not as the Louisiana Surf Department, but to help him record his tunes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then more opportunities would just come raining in, and that was the UK thing, and so he wasn't back in the picture yet, Shudawgy, but
Okay.
yeah.
so it ended up being the three of us plus Zach, and then
Okay.
Chris Mead playing drum kit for Zach, and Austin Roach also playing electric guitar, and I was playing percussion with Zach for
Okay.
Zach's music.
And where were y'all recording?
So with Zach stuff. So we started out recording with Zach's. I think there's a majority of his first record was done at Orb,
Okay.
and then we also did some stuff. Chris Mead brought some stuff over to Zach's house, and did some home recordings, which
Nice.
sounded great.
Nice.
And then went from doing that to working at Studio 601
Okay.
with
Yeah.
Eric from West Texas Exiles.
Yeah.
And
A
Mike.
lot of people run through there, man.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's such a cool room, such a great vibe. So many tracks at 601 were just like kind of like first take live, just go for it, you know, like it's
Nice.
just and then Zach's just such a force of positivity.
Hmm.
You know, he has a background in like weightlifting. He brings that spirit of like being like, yeah,
I love
yeah,
that, man.
you know, like and
Get it done.
You need somebody to be
Yeah.
a cheerleader and have, you know.
yeah, and that's what it takes. I mean, like when you've got someone in a group that carries that kind of torch, it just makes it like, all right,
Yeah.
we all, you know, we're all doing this right, and it's
Yeah.
just like, and then it just so happens that we start landing stuff first, second take, you know.
Yeah.
and maybe the old Newtonics, the what is that? The old brain drinks help.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah.
got a
The
Newtonic sponsor.
Nootropics.
Nootropic.
Nootropics,
Yeah. Who wants to be the nootropic sponsor for Awesome Music People? I'll do it.
Dude,
Let's do it.
Newtonic, dude.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on, Chris.
Yeah, dude, you hear us?
My-
Yeah, he's always showing up with a whole case of Newtonics. Is kind of
Yeah.
a joke. Like,
Oh, really?
like we'll if it's a studio day or just jamming at the house, he'll just bring a case.
We'll be on
Newtonic,
stage. There's a
so-
case of Newtonic, and then also the pill. We're just all just like taking these nootropics.
Dude, one of the things about living in Austin, obviously, like the fitness culture is massive here, but like there's so many brands like that are,
Yeah.
you know, non-alcoholic, non-drug related, whatever, and they're just like, here's this brain juice, like drink this shit, you know? It's like,
yeah, sure.
yeah, all right, whatever.
Sure, yeah, let's-
Oh, there's mushrooms in it? Like, okay,
All
well,
right.
let's check it out. So when you were in the UK, was that when Connor kicked your cable out, or was that in Dubai?
That was in Dubai.
Oh,
That was in Dubai, dude. That was also hilarious. That was oh my god. That was kind of an insane, just like being a live performer kind of experience.
Yeah.
Because of that was funny. I mean, just for being a guitar player in the band, like
Yeah.
you know, you're in Dubai, you fly 15, 16 hours to get there, you know, and then literally it was 36 hours of travel, and then we were in Dubai for only like 58, 59 hours.
Oof.
Like it was kind of it was a crazy thing.
Yeah.
But so yeah, get to this, you know, massive stage and all this stuff, go to sound check, then all of a sudden the guitar amp backline goes down. Doesn't even turn. Actually, doesn't even go down. It was just down. You just go to turn it on, nothing works.
No power.
Yeah, so you have to go DIN, which is like kind of it's an electric guitar player's nightmare because you don't have any tube saturation. You're just having to rely on like this very dry, unforgiving tone. And there was a guitar player that because there's several bands, and one of the guitar players was kind of having from other groups. He was going through it. I was going through it on the inside, but on the outside, I was just like not showing. And then eventually just made a decision. I was like, just going to go. For some reason, we're here in Dubai. I'm going to make the absolute best of this situation. I was like, just going to go for it. And so we're getting ready to play. And there's a sea of people. There's 10,000 people in front of us.
Was this like put on by one of the kings or princes? Or
this was put on by this was put together by the same folks who do the country music festival in England.
King Luke.
Yeah, Luke Betts. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's there's backstage and on the side of the stage actually, and just like waiting to go up and doing a little warm up, and we're about to get up and go on, and they were like, we need you guys to wait 5 minutes. And we're like, all right, cool. And then we were like, what's going on? They were like, Connor's gonna be here. Connor's gonna introduce you guys. I was like, Connor?
Oh yeah,
Connor who? Connor who?
Come
like,
on,
I was like, Connor.
Yeah, you met him last week. Come on.
Somebody was like, Conor McGregor. I was like, you're about to play in front of like 10,000, and it's like, it's like, okay, what? Didn't really think about it, and
it's
like whatever.
Kind of felt like a joke.
Yeah, I was like, are you serious? And then literally 5 minutes later,
it's got a crew of like 10 people.
Yeah,
like, just like walking around him. And protecting him, his like security
all
detail,
with massive pinkies that are lethal.
Lethal pinkies. Yeah. But so Connor shows up, and he takes a second, and then he walks out on stage with a mic, and he is like, "What's up, Dubai?" All that stuff. And as he's walking out, I didn't see him do this, but as he's walking out, he hits my cable and unplugs all my stuff. So I'm already have a guitar amp that's down. I'm having to like rely on the sound guys to mix this stuff properly in my monitor so I can actually hear it and all this stuff. And we get up there to go play, and then he announces us, and we're supposed to go out in like this big roaring kind of thing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden nothing's working. I'm like, what's going on? Oh my God, there's a sea of heads before you, and then none of your stuff works. And then ended up, looking around. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, cable got unplugged somehow.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later that evening, sitting down in the hotel room, there was a video of Connor walking out on stage. He's like, "What's up, Dubai?" And I see his foot in the video rip the cable out of the pedals. And I was just like, Conor McGregor.
Lucky I didn't.
Thanks,
you lucky I didn't catch you, dude.
Yeah, don't let me call Dustin Poirier, bro. I'm from South Louisiana, bro.
Yeah. Damn. And so, did he break the cable?
No, I just ripped it out of it. I mean, it
still,
happens. It happens.
Yeah,
I mean, the cable wasn't gaffed down or anything like
that's
that,
good.
so it just happens. But it's a funny thing because it was like, I watched that video several times. I was like, out of all people to kick the cable out of my gear,
That's funny.
Yeah.
How long was that? Was it a long set? Were you all able to get some good songs out there?
Oh yeah, it was incredible. We had such a good time, but we did have a thing. The monitor mixes and stuff were it was funny. So like when we started, my monitors didn't have any of my guitar coming through them at all. They were all in James's monitor, which felt like 1,000 yards away because this is a massive stage.
Yeah,
so I literally have to drop back to the back of the stage to hear my guitar coming through James's monitor all the way on stage left. And we eventually, I guess after song 2 or 3, finally got it. But from having the Friends Bars gigs and all the gigs, the Austin Garden stuff here in town, we had a lot of muscle memory, a lot of just like we knew how to play the song. So you just have to go off of that.
Just go off that. Yeah, just going off the. And also, I'm sure with technicalities, that's just part of the business, right? And so you just kind of learn to.
You got to go.
Kind of just go through it, man. I mean,
Tai Chi.
Yeah. Kung Fu.
So when y'all got back from the Dubai tour, was it like one of those things like, okay, that we just did that was wild, Conor McGregor, back to friends? Was it
literally?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because it was basically a weekend trip to the Middle East.
Yeah, that's
because
nuts.
we had to get back to Texas to play shows here.
Yeah,
so we we played with Zach, and then our stuff, we played 4 shows in Dubai, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, we played 4 sets in Dubai. And then literally, it was so funny. After our last set, we were all stoked. We met some local cats who were inviting us out to a jam, and we're in our trailer and
Oh,
we're all
wow.
stoked. We're going to this jam.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, our manager comes in and he was like, "All right, boys, car call at 9 a.m. Or no, at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. We were like, "What?" We're like, "We don't have to fly out until 9 p.m." He was like, "No, your flight's at 9 a.m." We're just
Oh my
like, "Oh,
God.
no." So, like, literally had to go back to our hotel, go to sleep, wake up at 6, and then
Back on the plane.
back on the
Oh,
plane.
man.
So it was just like,
I
blink
would
of
have
an
loved
eye.
to hear about the jam scene in Dubai. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I mean, so
Really though.
so did you meet any musicians that were like, what's a local country musician in Dubai like?
It's a lot of cover music.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I noticed.
Well, it's like, does anybody have any kind of like, I don't know, twang to their, I guess, or anybody can make twang to their, like that kind of stuff. But like, I don't know, man.
The
I feel
first
like,
place we went and hung out at, like there was a guy playing a gig, but I'm pretty sure it was just like he just had a laptop and he was playing backing tracks and he would just sing
Yeah.
to whatever, which, yeah. So it's just,
Yeah.
it's just a little different.
This guy had a broken arm though.
oh,
I
wow.
don't know.
Oh,
He,
did he?
he
I
may
don't
have
remember.
he may have played.
Hustling.
Yeah, I think he was in a sling, huh? Was he in
Uh,
a sling? I think he was in a sling.
Interesting.
I remember. I don't know. Yeah.
So, damn.
Who knows
All
what
right.
was in that hookah?
But even
man?
in the UK, did y'all were you able to like mix the locals and like kind of go check out what the local scene was like out there? Any of the towns?
kind of was so much bouncing around.
Yeah.
Because we weren't really in the same town,
More than 12 hours or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of same for Dubai. I mean,
Yeah.
our hotel was across the street from the festival, and we were only there for 2 nights or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so hopefully more time to explore
Yeah.
the local scenes.
Do y'all have
future
any-
ones, but
Sorry, do y'all have any other tours lined up?
We've got we caught wind of some stuff
Okay.
for this upcoming year.
Good.
We're pretty much booked out locally and regionally for the rest of the year.
Where else do y'all play regionally?
Shoot,
next weekend we're going to Houston and
Okay.
Lake Charles for
Oh,
a thing
hell.
called Chuck Fest.
Okay.
mhm.
Where's Chuck Fest?
Lake Charles, Louisiana.
But is it
Yeah.
like it's just somewhere? Okay.
Yeah.
The only time Lake Charles spends at the casino. So
Yeah,
I
right.
asked like I know Lake Charles, like, oh yeah, right there off Bellevue Avenue, I don't know shit. But that's cool. And so that's good to hear that y'all booked solid, man. Because
I mean, the
it's-
point is to like keep developing the home field.
Yeah.
And we're just in the studio every single week right now,
Good.
and preparing to release this full length album
Okay.
in December. And so just like diligently working on that, and so staying in Austin as much as we can, to do that.
So is there like a specific, I don't know, theme around the album, or I mean, I'm sure y'all have a massive repertoire of songs. So how do you go about picking which ones you like, or you just kind of laying everything down and going from there?
And like when we first met up and John started showing James and me the songs, he's holding on to like 30. I mean, there was like, we got the whiteboard out and just started writing them all on the whiteboard, and there was like 30 or something like that. And I guess the ones that we started to play naturally first were the ones that, I don't know, how did we even decide that? I guess we were kind of just, well, the ones that felt good.
I feel like, the first 4 that we recorded in that little EP were just, it was like that. The ones that were feeling the most solid were the most like put together. And now it seems like the idea is like kind of like we're recording the tunes in the same kind of ish order that they showed up in,
Mhm.
right? It's like,
yeah, it's kind of like they're sort of like the songs of like these songs that we're playing were written from 2017 to pretty much present. Yeah, like everything
Okay.
we're releasing, but they're all somewhat like there's like a bag of songs that's between like I guess 40 and 70, and we're playing the most like complete ones.
Okay.
The most complete ones, and they're definitely like like we have like I guess this first record is more leaning towards like like the most like listener friendly kind of song, you know, like general audience kind of songs.
Yeah.
But we, you know, more of like the Americana, you know, kind of. I wouldn't say some people say country, but I don't really think we're like a country. We're like not really like country.
I'd struggle to.
Yeah, we're
I mean,
not.
I hate to put anybody in a box.
We have
but
the
I'd struggle to
instruments
say
of
that.
like we play like, you know, the Fender
But you can feel the
guitars.
country and the roots of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely influenced by
Yeah.
like that whole like Waylon Willie era, like, you know, when like psychedelia and country music, you know, joined forces.
Yeah, it's like that term Americana. You know, it's like such a blanketed term to just like American influenced music.
Yeah.
So there could be like country rock kind of blend, or it's like soul music could be a part of the blend or something. But so it's like Americana just seems to work.
Right, wrong, or indifferent. The way I described you guys to somebody the other day was if John Fogerty or CCR was around today and they're putting out music in 2025 to a modern audience, that'd be LSD.
Yeah.
And just, you know, call it swampy, whatever you want.
Call
it bluesy. Call it, you know, just
swampadelic.
I mean, it's definitely influenced.
Swamp Tonk. Yeah.
Definitely influenced by the late 60s and like 70s psychedelic rock music as well.
Yeah.
Well, those tunes are kind of falling into what seems like is going to be like the second or third full-length album.
Yeah, we do have. Yeah, we've got some psychedelic rock like songs in our pocket. You know, influenced by like the 13th Floor Elevators, Moving Sidewalks, Grateful Dead,
and we're playing on those. We're playing on those pretty much every set. You know? But the 12 or 11 that are actually on this full-length album,
with that many songs in the repertoire, do you like? I'm sure you have to swap some stuff out to play it live, see if you really like it, right, for the album, or is it just kind of like here are live songs, but here's some songs we want to record, or how do y'all go about kind of mixing that up?
The people, it seems like the people. So like we play so much, that you start to see which songs cause different reactions within an audience, especially when you're playing. So like that's the good thing about playing so much for foot traffic in the beginning, because like you're playing for foot traffic and you're eating out of a tip jug.
Yeah.
So you got to be playing stuff that's like, if you're gonna play original music, you gotta finesse.
Yeah.
You gotta finesse. So we, I think us as a group, like, okay, this song. Like, you know, like bright or whatever, you know, wow, or like high and dry, you start to see like people being like, okay. And then also like our buddies, you know, Austin, going back to being the community of musicians, you know, like the boys in Nether Hour, you know, they would watch us play a set and they'd be like, all right, this song, you guys got, when are you recording it, you know? And it's like, okay, that's another one, you know. And then
just let the people, man.
That's what music's for.
Also, seems like we're discovering ourselves through the songs too. Like two songs that are going to be on this one, "Heaven's Gates" and "Life Is Great," are like they're different speed than a lot of the other tunes on the album. But I think James and I especially have discovered a lot about how we are going to sing together and backup vocals through these songs.
Yeah,
and they've evolved so much as we played them. You know, tons. I mean, we've played. At this rate, I mean, we've played hundreds of gigs together in less than 2 years now.
Yeah.
And just learning about the songs out in the field. And that's kind of been the best part about not recording the tunes immediately, is that we've gotten to get all these reps with the songs and actually come up with what kind of approach do we want to take on backing vocals. And James has gotten really creative with arranging, you know, how we're singing, and those are actually two songs that we still have yet to record for the album. Those are going to be a couple of the last ones that we're recording.
Okay.
But all that to say, just learning about who we are through these songs in these first couple of years has been really profound. A lot of self-discovery through just going and playing the gigs and figuring out how we want to work together.
Reps,
right?
Yeah, just getting in reps, man. I feel like that. I mean, that's everything. Hell, with this podcast, just reps. Like they don't have to be perfect reps, right? And they're not always going to be perfect reps, and that's part of getting reps. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
And so, Are y'all recording at 601 again, or?
So we did for this full length record that we're working on is at Mercury Studios, Lucas Hayden Studio, out in Cherrywood.
Okay.
Yeah. But we have done 601 was mixing the beginning of the record. 601 mixed.
Okay.
All the stuff, and then now we're doing everything in house at Lucas's.
What was the reason going out to Lucas's? Just buddies, or just you like the studio? All of the above.
Yeah, Lucas is a dear friend and brother, and just his approach as to music and recording is very much feels like home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just he as a friend feels like home, and it's all feeling, you know, and just going into his room and recording live, and we're all in the room together, and his gear, and he was also in the process of like learning some of his gear, so he was like, just come and see what happens,
see what's up.
Yeah, it just so happens to capture our thing. And,
when he built this awesome studio like in his backyard,
like hand built,
like
all himself.
Wow. And then even before it was built, like John was there, you know, helping him pour concrete.
I went
and stuff,
once.
you know?
I went once because he was very much about like. I mean, this studio. Mercury is a piece of art. You know, like Lucas just did everything himself, and yeah, I mean, it was so funny. I was reaching out to him because he was wanting to record us, and I was like, well, how can I? Help? How can I help? You know, and there was just one day, I poured a little concrete, man. It was really nothing. But he's still like, you know, John came and helped. But it was like I had to like wedge my way into there, be like, hey, I'm showing up, dude. You know,
that's awesome. I mean, that's a sense of pride right there, man. When you build something yourself.
Oh, it's so cool. You got to go check it out.
I would love to. Yeah. I'd love to have Lucas on, man.
You should totally have Lucas on.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the thing, I don't even remember where we met Lucas. Do you remember when? Was it that he was mixing us?
The first time I remember the first time I saw Lucas. It was funny. I was watching the Ransom Brothers. Or at this little bar on the north side, little Longhorn Saloon.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I'm standing outside, and I've got this rawhide jacket. You know, you don't really like when you like the real old one. You know, my sister got it for me. It's like something, you know, could have found it at Woodstock, but I've got mine, and I hadn't really seen anybody with one like that. And I hear some boots coming up the block behind me, the sidewalk, and I turn around, and this cat rolls up with this rawhide jacket, and I was like, what you doing over here with this old rawhide jacket? Dude? I just saw him first thing. I was like, I bet that guy's cool, you know? And then it's through Zach. It was several months later. Zach got a gig over at, he had a show opening up for Rob Lines over at Devil's Backbone. And James couldn't make the gig. So Zach called Lucas. He met Lucas. I don't know where he met Lucas at, but Lucas had a bass, can play bass, and Lucas showed up on the gig, and we played the set together first. You know, shook his hand, nice to meet you. You know, and then we played the set together, and we got off stage. We were just like, dude, we just talked guitar, talked gear, music. Literally sat outside on this bench and just became friends. And
man,
yeah.
That's a beautiful story. Another way of the universe just kind of introducing people for y'all and just kind of making it happen, man.
Well,
I love it.
He would end up mixing us live as a sound engineer, and we became friends. You know, I guess that's where I ended up meeting Lucas, but of course we all just became friends.
Yeah.
And but one thing I remember about Lucas, who's that you guys, you know, he was very insistent about like recording a couple of specific songs with us, and it was his insistence that he could hear like what the room needed to be like what sort of room we should be in, and like it's like he was saying he knew how to record what we were playing live and like really capture it, and that seemed really appealing to go into his hand-built studio and see like what he meant by that,
right?
And so we went in there and recorded Jefferson Street Stride and You're Beautiful first with him, because that was the tune. You're Beautiful in particular was the one he was like, "Got to record this. Y'all got to let me record this song."
Yeah.
And
Jefferson Street Stride's awesome, man. That belongs in some. I don't know. I hope y'all are sending that out to all the syncs and everything, because that's a great fucking just. I almost said lullaby. It's not a lullaby, but I don't know. I just love it, man. It's just a good.
It's like an instrumental mantra.
Yeah.
It's like walking downtown Lafayette.
So I was reading that Sidecar. Is it Sidecar Junkaroo? And they mentioned, the author mentioned that y'all have a motto: "Serve where you are." So what was that? Was that just something y'all mentioned in the article, or is that just kind of who you are as a band? Because I've never heard of a band having a motto like that. So I thought that was interesting. Where does that come from? Or does it really come from anywhere and he just wrote in the article?
They just made that up.
Okay.
I mean, to act, doing things as an act of service, to serve for the good of all.
Yeah, we have so
Sorry,
many
man,
mantras.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if that was like a thing, or if it's just like, nah.
Well, it's kind of like the thing. It's like the band. For myself, I remember being a solo songwriter without a band for years.
Yeah.
And then I always was like, one day if ever get a band, I want to support other songwriters. Like the band. Like the band and Bob Dylan. The band. Just how the band backed up so many different artists.
Yep.
And you watch like The Last Waltz. Wanted to have a group that did something like that to serve. Like we can go out and perform and do our own thing. It's like, with this band, and that's a service to the people, but to serve other artists. That was, that's how you see, that's, us backing up Bercy, backing up Zach. We backed up Alicia Gale Friday night over at the gallery. Sam Morrow, when he came to town, we were his band.
Nice.
So just to serve with the music. And
I mean, I think that's why y'all fit so well in this musical community, man. If that's your mentality, I mean, how do you approach things?
Well, it's like all ships rise with the tide. You can kind of feel that in the scene, and in our like brother and sister bands, like everybody, you can feel everybody growing together, and that's profound. But further to what John was saying, like it serving other artists and serving that community, and also just serving our hearts. And this music is the reason to do this, and to go and to get to play the music for the people, and bringing, like we were just talking about a little bit earlier, just bringing the light wherever we go, because there's little pockets of darkness everywhere, and to have the practice of showing up like it's our job to bring that light is a really special thing that fuels this. That is a part of our core beliefs. It's written in our code.
Well, I can feel that, man. I can feel that for sure. And so where's y'all's favorite place to bring the light? Where's your favorite place to play around town?
Oh, man,
there's so,
I know that's
so
a tough
many different
question, man.
spots. It just kind of there's so many different spots. I mean, like, we started, this band was built at a friend's bar. So for a while, that was it. There's a lot of magic. Yeah, Dirty Six, I don't really like the name Dirty Six. I like to call it the Holy Land, because it's full of potential to,
it is full of potential.
Really, you can see it's really obvious, like the human condition, out there. You see the whole spectrum out there, and
you're exactly right.
Yeah, and it inspires a lot. But we had so many good times at Friends, and then to evolve into being like a resident band at Continental. That's kind of a thing, just to be at Continental every week, sometimes multiple times a week, sometimes playing 3-hour-long gigs there, and goodness,
I know it's a
pretty
tough
much
question.
wherever we're
Brent
going.
Saxon, the sound is always awesome there, and Saxon is one of the few places in town where it really feels like a listening room, and people come and sit down and really pay attention. And, and I mean, every time we play there, it just feels really, really great.
Yeah, it does.
Man, I bet playing on that Continental stage is something though.
Yeah, I feel like right now Continental is like our home.
So important.
It's like because we're there every Wednesday, and then now we've been doing some Fridays, with Nether Hour.
Y'all played Sea Boys not too long ago.
Yeah.
Sea Boys is also really fun.
That is my favorite. Whenever people come in town or whatever, if somebody asks me, that's my favorite venue in town, and I couldn't tell you why, other than it's just intimate. I'm a big blues guy, so when I first moved to town, seeing Jimmy Vaughn there on like a Tuesday,
I'll never forget the first time we play there.
What happened?
Just electric energy.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, just
it was
electric
incredible.
energy.
It was incredible.
We played after Another Hour in the kind of midnight slot, and it was just packed,
on fire,
just completely packed, and John was cruising in.
I'm feeling like there's a story, like there's an undertone happening.
All right, so it just so happened that weekend, our buddy Chandler Wayne, shout out to Petite Mal Tattoo. Chandler's got he's a partner on at River Forest Haven campground right outside of Austin and Garfield.
Okay.
And just that particular weekend, my girlfriend was wanting to go out there and stay. And Chandler has a really cool Airstream out there that they B&B out.
Nice.
So Chan hooked it up, and it just happened to be like 3 weeks after my birthday, and ended up staying. I was only going to stay in the Airstream for one night, but when I got out there, Chan was like, "So how long are you staying?" I was like, "Oh, just one night." He was like, "Just one night?" He's like, "Stay until Monday." I was like, "All right." Yeah. So we actually had, we were out there Thursday night, and then I came back to town Friday because we had a band meeting. And then instead of going back to my house, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back out to the Airstream because Garfield's only 20 minutes out, 25 minutes out. Yeah, so I drove back out there. And I was like, I'm going to take a nap in the Airstream and then go to the gig. Dude, I ended up I fell asleep at like 6:30, 6:45, taking a nap. I set my alarm for like 8, and I was going to show up. I texted Bishop. I was like, I'll see you guys like 8:45, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Dude, I fell asleep. So I don't know if you ever slept in an Airstream.
I have.
With like so like you got the humming air conditioner. Mm-hmm. It's cold. Oh, Chan's got this awesome bed in there. And dude, I passed out. Dude, I woke up so we started at midnight. I was woken up by our dear friend Garrett Noel at 11:24, banging on the door. John.
Well, Garrett was with us at the venue.
Oh, and he took off.
When it got to about, I guess, 11:15, and James was like, "Hey, so have you seen John or whatever?" And then Garrett pulled the trigger and was like, "I'm just gonna go out there," and he jetted out there.
It's a good friend.
Woke John up, banging on that door.
Tour manager,
and he booked it back, and we ended up starting. I don't know, to like 12:15 or whatever, something like that.
I think it was like 12:07. It wasn't long after. Yeah. It wasn't long after because I remember looking down at my phone. Let's be real,
dude. It was like 12:07.
Yeah. And I felt I really felt awful because Steve, the owner of the club, like he's only helped us out, man. Like, and I wasn't drinking or anything. I don't really drink ever. Yeah. I just passed out.
Tired man.
Yeah, and I felt awful. It was so, we played the set and stuff. I remember like when I got off the stage, I walked up to Steve. He was on the side of the stage with Bobby. And I was like, Steve, man, I'm so sorry for being late. He was like, late? He was like, man, thank you. And I was just like, all right.
Yeah. We kept going. We played, instead of playing 90, like we played up to like 150 pretty much. Wow. And he really appreciated that, because we're keeping the crowd. And it still, like, even though that happened, like the three of us, Shudawgy and James and I, were like dead set on this being a great show. Yeah. And I knew that John was not going to be feeling great about showing up late. I mean, we all knew that. Yeah. And so we were together. We were just like, let's make this great, man. Yeah. And John got there, we got his stuff set up, and I think that we slayed that one. We just went
to ripping. Yeah, we went.
Yeah, because it was so crowded in there.
Yeah. Man, that energy, God,
because there was a slight delay, you could feel it in the air that people wanted it.
Yeah,
they were ready.
There was a tension in the
air.
Like
the people that went out for the smoke break, they came back in. They was ready, dude. they were ready to jam, and we hit it. That was so much fun. But yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite spots in town. But James is right. Continental's home base.
Nice.
But we got so many great places to play, and
Yeah.
that's why there is a market.
Mhm.
Like that's why we can do this, because there's so many great places that will collaborate.
So we were at Armadillo Den 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I believe, but it was after like we were doing 2-a-days. It was like our 7th day in a row going hard, doing, we were in the studio and then also playing gigs every day. And then so we were pretty cooked. It was the last show of the week, and we did a 3-hour long set at 2 p.m. at Austin Garden out in the sun earlier that day. So, you get to out to Armadillo Den, you're doing 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. You got to really bring it. We played our first set at Armadillo Den and went out back and took 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. And we're in the back, and Molly, the sound engineer, comes walking into the back and was like, "Oh, guys, Gary Clark just walked in," and then we're sitting there, it's like, oh man,
Yeah, I was
you have to say that.
You immediately see the two guitar players in the band. It's like Markus gets up, he starts pacing. John's like, "I'm going to the bathroom." Brian and I are sitting there like, why did she didn't have to say that? She's such a sweetheart.
She's awesome.
She was excited,
but definitely, because
that's funny.
So
man.
Gary, he pops into Friends. He played at Friends back in the day, and pops into Friends and supports the local musicians and stuff. And
I love that.
It was really cool to hear he was there. But in my mind, I was like, all right, dude, like rework the set real quick, like put some blues forward stuff real quick, like do that and make, be like, I don't know how long he was gonna be there. I was like, let's, play something he might be into, And it was cool. He rolls in and he's got his camera, so he looks like a photographer, and he shoots the bands and stuff like
that's
that.
cool,
Dude, it's cool. He's out here and like he shows up and he goes and supports local music. To be somebody that's like, in his seat, got all the respect in the world. For him like coming out and showing love like that.
Oh man, he grew up literally on stage in this scene.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he was like one of the last of Clifford's kids, right? It was like some kind of program that Clifford Antone did, and I mean, he literally grew up in the scene, and that's awesome that he supports it in a very honest way. It's not just like, hey, go check out these guys. Like, I'll be there with my freaking camera on, taking pictures of these boys, and being a part of it.
Yeah.
So we were talking a little bit about the album and everything. So what's the plan around kind of pushing the album? How do y'all plan on kind of making it a thing? I'm sure you'll do a release party and stuff like that, but
we're releasing the album in December, on December 12th.
Okay.
And we've been recording these tunes with Lucas and working with 601 on some of the mixing, and Infrasonic has been doing the mastering, Pete Lyman, and we're just diligently making sure that first and foremost we record the songs and do a very good job of that. And now that we kind of have our legs under us with the process of recording, kind of the output, we've been trying to systemize our method, and it seems like we've kind of gained some traction, and the songs are sounding really good, and the feedback that we're getting is very positive. We just released High and Dry, which had Zach Tallender featured on it, and all the feedback has been really great. And we're about to release Passing By in a few days, on Friday. And they're it is mid-October right now, early October, and we're going to release a couple of more singles leading up to December 12th, and the dropping the full album will include a couple of tunes that aren't going to be pre-released. So awesome. Starting November, the plan is to really, it's our first time pushing an album release. You know, the EP was just, it was 4 singles, and we didn't really promote it as like a collection of songs. It was like, what is this thing? This is a intentional collection of work.
Full album,
and there is a lot of, I mean, it is years and years and years in the making from John's perspective. And for us, like, as a team, instilling as much art as we can into the project. So working with Bronco Brian, what's Brian's last name? Minia. Brian Minia.
Machete, dude.
Machete, yeah, that's his Instagram. We call him Bronco, but that's Brian.
Yeah.
He's also a Brian, and he's doing all the single artwork, and we're just trying to make the artwork really beautiful.
Yeah.
With each of the singles, and try to tell a story through that art, and then a handful of other ideas to express the songs, or the songbook. John's going to put together an actual songbook of the album with the lyrics typed up, and the chord progressions, and that will be a work of art in and of itself. Will sell as a piece of merch, but also as a part of a larger fundraiser that we're a fundraising campaign that we're going to market alongside the album.
Okay.
Thank You. The name of the album is Thank You. That's with all caps, 3 letters. It's cool. Sun Radio played one of our songs. They played Bright Bright when it came out, and we listened to it, and that was the first time that we heard one of our tunes played on the radio, and the DJ said the name of the album like that. She said she was like, in the upcoming album called Thank You. And I say that because it's, I can't remember her name.
Is it Susanna Chaffel?
She's got a great voice.
A great voice. I get her name, but
yeah.
And so there's going to be the songbook, and the idea is to basically, we have a merch table, and the merch is done really well.
Yeah.
But there's no real way for folks to support us from afar. And, if they don't come to our show, other than, just following and listening online, that's a great way to support. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, basically starting our online store so that we can sell merch online, and then putting some bundles together of some really special, packages to support the band and help us fund our endeavors, because for a lot of folks, it's basically free online music.
Yeah. What is it, 0.003 cents a stream?
Whatever. Yeah. It's like, so putting up a menu of methods that folks can go and support us, from just like a $10 tip bucket, virtual tip, all the way up to like executive producer or private shows, and hiring us for a private show. And
all right. something
that you'll be able to find on our website, by the time this is released, and starting in November, that fundraiser will be kind of going until the end of the year, alongside the campaign for the album Thank You, which hopefully we'll do a couple of events. We've got a group of musician and friends that we have these weekly workouts for, and just promoting like fitness and wellness in the scene. And so I'm putting together a walk/ruck, which is like, a ruck is like a weighted walk, and it's going to be to raise funds for a nonprofit, and we're going to have some sponsors that are going to be giving back fitness goods to help local musicians support their fitness journey, their wellness journey. That's going to be happening in November. And then
where is
that's going to be November 15th at in partnership with Squatch Gym, Squatch Fitness, which is where we all go and do our workouts, and where we do our weekly like fitness workouts with the musician scene. And the details to come specifically are where that's going to be, but we'll be sharing about that on our social media and stuff. And then later in the month, we'll be doing a pre-album release party, and that'll be at East End Ballroom. And it's going to be, the idea was to throw a show that promotes the album Thank You, and also features us getting to play with all of our friends that we have gotten to support so far, as a thank you to them and a thank you to the scene for doing this all together.
Yeah.
And that is what this album is. It's a thank you to everybody that we get to do this at all. It's such a great blessing, and it's a dream come true for me. And I know it is for all of
Thank
these
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And like when you say thank you, you're not really saying it to a person. You're kind of saying it up to like the wind. You know, it's like that's kind of, you're thinking everything, you know, not just your brothers, but it's,
and that's how it feels when we show up to every single gig. That's what this album is about. All of the tunes are about, they're about love. They're about healing. They're about positivity. A lot of them written by John in times of doubt and times of shadow. And so the idea for the album to be called Thank You only made sense. And for that to be the theme, the essence of the campaign, to be giving back and saying thank you to the community, as a way of kind of quote unquote promoting the album. It's really just, that's all we want to do is give back and say thank you. And so, like I said, this started as a bunch of acquaintances that became best friends. And
y'all can.
That's the first time I ever met Markus. He walked in the door. John and I walked into Bishop's house to come and hang. It was late, probably, I don't know, 11, 12, something like that. And
that was Bobby's side of the house.
Yeah.
Pizza in the fridge and hot sauce, and like one beer.
Do you need anything else?
Yeah.
And Markus is in there, and he looks at us, and he looks at me. He goes, "Y'all can?" And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Y'all can?" I'm like, "What? I don't understand."
More times.
He's like, "Y'all can." Oh, I'm like,
you guys related?
Y'all related?
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit!" It's funny because John and I, we look a lot alike. We get mistaken for each other.
We're mistaken for each other every other day.
Yeah.
Yes. Somebody will, like, especially like being at the gym, somebody will walk up to me and be like, "What's up, bro?" I'm just like, dude, I've never met this guy before. I'm like, "What's up, bro?" He's like, "How you doing?"
You can tell when people like realize it too.
Yeah,
like,
because they'll slowly realize it after.
And it's hilarious because John actually has a twin brother.
That's funny. Have you ever put him up on stage just as a joke?
My brother?
Yeah.
Not yet.
He plays harmonica though.
He plays harmonica.
That would be hilarious.
My brother got me into the blues.
That's
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's kind of the long and short of the album coming up.
Yeah.
And it's a whole lot of love that's being packed into this thing, and it's a work of art, a multifaceted art piece that hopefully gets into the eyes and ears of a lot of people. And we are surfing the wave of these songs. This is we're really riding it too. And I get giddy at the idea of recording. I mean, before we even started, like officially started, when I met John, we met by chance. And the first time I ever saw him play guitar, and the first time we hung out and jammed a little bit together, I became a fan. I was like, who is this guy? I want to be friends with him and help as much as I can.
That's awesome.
And I hadn't started playing music again yet. I hadn't started playing drums or anything like that again yet. And I just wanted to be his biggest supporter. And the fact that I ended up getting to play music on these tunes is, to me, incredible, because I started to fall in love with the songs that he was sharing with me. Just that I was hearing, a couple of them, including like Heaven's Gates and a couple others, he was writing it at the time that we were starting to become friends. And I was hearing these songs come alive. I'm like, this is so awesome.
From just a music, like from a song standpoint, not so much like how can I be a part of this, but just really loving the music.
Just loving the tune, man. Just loving the tunes. And I'm a little bit obsessive when I get into something. Like, I really get into it. And I've had these guys to remind me, because I ended up starting to play the drums on the songs, and I've had these guys to like keep me like ground in the music. Like it's about the music first. Like the number one most important possibly thing that we could do is to make sure that these songs are performed as well as we can, and to be musicians first. And so thank you guys for being that constant reminder.
Well, I just thought the first time I spoke to Brian, it was very briefly. It was in Arizona, actually. And but the first time we like hung out and chilled was at Dustin Poyer's family's home. And where was that? That was
Dustin Poirier, the UFC fight.
Yeah. And it just so happened he was fighting Conor McGregor. So we were with Dustin's family
because we're friends with our buddy Justin Wren. We have a common friend, Justin Wren, who we also met in Arizona. Yeah. And that's how we ended up at the same house. Justin was a fighter and knows Dustin Poirier and his family, and so ended up being invited to their homes, their family's house party to watch Dustin fight Conor McGregor
in Dubai.
In Dubai.
Whoa. Yeah.
Dude, you can't make this. You literally cannot make this shit up.
Yeah.
In a book.
Yeah. It's the funniest things. It was so funny because Justin was, he posted a picture online. He was at the Cajun Dome. And I was like, I was like, dude, what are you doing? Because I was in Crowley at the time. I was like, bro, what are you doing at the Cajun Dome? He was like, dude, we're going to Dustin's family's house to watch the fight tonight. He was like, want to come? I was like, yeah. Sent me the address, showed up, and Brian was there.
And I was in that group because, Justin is a homie of mine.
Yeah.
And we had this small group of friends that had friends in Lafayette. And so we were going to visit our friends in Lafayette.
Okay.
And then Justin, because this fight was going on, he was going to be sure to watch it. And it happened to be that he'd get to go and watch it at Dustin's family's house. And so
Dustin ended up winning that fight.
Yeah.
Connor, kick that cable out again.
we know Dustin.
Are y'all MMA guys? Y'all following
MMA? I'm not. That's actually probably the first fight I ever watched, and it was wild to watch. It was insane. With Dustin's family.
To watch. Dude, that was
so like his mom is there.
Oh yeah,
like watching him fight
cousins.
Conor. That must be a weird feeling.
Because they're literally watching. Conor laid some heavy licks on Dustin, dude, and you're in there with his fam, and it's different because like when you watch a fight, just like with your boys, pay-per-view, whatever, everybody's going wild and stuff. But we're actually in a room full of people that
love him.
This is
that care about this,
and they're watching him get hit by. I mean,
yeah,
Conor McGregor's a phenomenal fighter, dude, and like. He's laying those licks on Dustin, and you can feel the family's like, oh no, God. Leg kicks. Leg kicks is what won that fight. Yeah.
I don't know anything about the sport, so it's hard for me to watch it.
It's brutal. Yeah.
I'll enjoy going to a boxing. Like I saw the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, and actually at Golden Nugget. So that was a cool atmosphere, to see it in that kind of atmosphere and stuff. But I don't know anything about sport, so it's hard for me to understand what's happening. There's a lot of art to it and all that stuff. So that's wild that just being in the room with the family and just like it's such a personal feeling.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah. And then when he won, cool. it was nuts. Just like
wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And so going back to the album, because you touched on part of the art that you're going to put out is the lyrics, the chord progressions. That's super unique. I don't think I've ever, obviously, lyrics and stuff, but like really putting out the song fully out there. I mean, it's like, here's my homework, everything. What was
here's your homework.
Yeah. Well,
giving you the blueprint though.
Yeah.
The house that you're living in. It's like, you guys have built
but that, I mean, that's for a guy like me who, likes y'all's music and like is just a bedroom guitarist. Like, hell yeah. I'll pick that shit up. Like, that's a really unique way to put out a piece of art. And so I don't know where that came from, but that needs to be continued because that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's like that whole thing, like being I think we're all bedroom guitarists when it comes down to it,
right?
And
I agree.
That whole mystery when like you're having to sit there and like you're not able to find the chords or the tabs, and you just got to sit there with the record and by ear and figure it out. That's a thing. But for an artist to release the chords and the lyrics, it just makes it that much accessible. It's more that's that much more accessible.
Yep.
It represents you really well though, because of the first like image I had of John and the music when I came up was, this is raw. This is somebody's pure heart with no skin or bones, nothing attached. It's exactly, and that takes a lot of guts and courage to, put it out on the line like that and be sensitive, and I come from like blues and country and loving Hank Williams Jr., where it's like, I am and I will be. And this was such a, it still had the similar vein, but it had that, just humbleness to it, and really like took me, I really like fell in love with it.
Yeah.
So,
that's a testament to John's courage to share these songs. He's described it as an open journal of sorts. And now, and it was his idea to kind of do a songbook. I mean, we talked about doing like for these various incentives for this fundraiser to maybe do like a signed lyric, signed, handwritten lyrics, whatever. And as we discussed it, he started talking about doing an actual songbook, and that he was really into that idea. And we're all just like, dude, that's a sweet idea. Cause like we want to make it art, make it artistic. And so
I mean, but that's all a unique way to, again, everything you described is a unique way to, a lot of people talk about the struggle of being an artist and then not really wanting to put a lot of effort, or just struggling to put the effort into pushing yourself as an artist. Like, it's one thing to put the art out there and to like hit record and play your songs and really love your songs, but actually like the effort of like, the social media aspect of it is just wild. And then like really pushing yourselves as band. And so I think that's just a unique way to handle that, because you're now excited about that. Like, you're now excited to put that out there, and it's not just part of like, oh, I'm putting out a record, like, here, come to the record release party and we're streaming as much as possible, And so I just think that's cool, man. I'm rambling with that. I just think that's badass.
I get excited too at the prospect of like bridging the gap between like the pure art of it and actually making it a sustainable thing for us to like live by, to make it make business sense.
Yeah.
And I know that people out there want to support us, and it should, from a business perspective, we just have to create a menu. We have to create an opportunity for folks to be able to enjoy the art.
Yeah.
We need, it's not going to be through listening to the songs, because that's all on a streaming the way that the industry is now.
Right. Yeah.
We're using the tunes as a kind of like an invitation into what we're doing, and hopefully getting people to shows, but also like getting them a songbook, or getting them some merch or whatever. And that's kind of how we're doing our grassroots thing. There's a million ways to cut it, but like, you start by starting. Go start doing something. And this is for us, like, we get to make art, and folks can support that. And I think it's going to be great, man. I'm stoked about the songbook and vinyl. Thank You will be on vinyl, and there's going to be a couple other little pieces to the to the online store. But all of that stuff is helping us get into the studio and get the recording time.
I mean, at the end of the day, you have to support yourself, right? And there's a big business aspect to this. Like, you got to eat, right? And so where are y'all pressing the vinyl? Local or
pressing it locally?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're on anything yet, but
when you're laying something down and it's going to be on vinyl, does that change how, and I'm kind of getting technicalities, but I'm just curious when I ask this question, does that change how things are recorded, or is it all just technology is whatever?
It changes the master device for mastering and stuff like that. I mean, it just depends. Like, if we wanted to like do something a little different for vinyl or whatever, like we wanted to add something special for the vinyl or whatever, but it's mostly, it's just like how it's mastered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it's actually let's see, it's Grossero. Yeah, that's who we're looking to press with. Yeah.
You can, I mean, like, you can take that approach where it's like, if your end goal is to do vinyl and you want to create something based on how it will play on vinyl, that's not necessarily how we're doing this album. But yeah, I mean, especially working with Lucas, and he works with tape a lot, and so you know, there's,
I was just curious.
Yeah.
So I ask everybody this question, but what do y'all think about the term live music capital of the world? What does that mean to y'all?
Oh, Austin, Texas, man. For real. I mean, I've traveled all over the country, many different scenes, you know, from Nashville, New York, San Francisco, LA, Austin, you know, even New Orleans and stuff like that. And, you know, in Austin, in one night, you can watch, you know, like the best at what they're doing. You can watch soul band, R&B, blues, world music, psychedelic rock, doom, stoner rock, country, you know, honky tonkin', jazz, everything in just one afternoon and evening. You can watch all of that, and people who are really at the top of their game.
Exactly.
Like, and it's 7 nights a week. Yeah, and it just, you know, once that, you know, I mean, it's out here. You can watch the songwriters are starting at noon. You know, the solo songwriters, little spots, and then it goes up until 2 a.m. And then the late night thing, people who are hanging out and showing their songs or just jamming.
Yeah.
You know, it's Austin's very special. You don't have to really leave here because it's all here. As a music listener, it's all here.
Yeah.
And then folks are coming here.
Right.
I mean, they're traveling here to do it here as well. So,
and the other side of that is that, like, there are, because Austin has that reputation, there's a market of listeners and people like you who are wanting music when they're out, and it's created a real market that supports folks like us that can go and do this, have a grassroots startup business band, and go and do it full time, and like, you know, very humbly make ends meet, you know, here in the beginning, but knowing that we're investing in something much bigger. But we can do that here in Austin because there's so many venues that are willing to bring us on to play and strike a door deal with us, or give us a guarantee, and you know, so that's a real market that, you know, allows for so many musicians and so many bands to be able to do their thing here, and like be fully committed to it. So
each side of town is like a different scene as well.
Really is,
you know, like you play Hotel Vegas, right? You know, the folks that are hanging out at Hotel Vegas doing the thing there, you know, you might not see those folks over at, like, I mean, this isn't far away, but like Austin Garden, or like over on, you know, 6th Street, Continental Club, you know.
Red River's got its own
Red
little
River,
scene
like
going
each
on.
spot. So like you can play in Austin multiple days a week, and depending on which venue you're at, you're gonna have the different scene there. You know, so it's
Concourse Projects is right down the street from here. I can hear them going till 3 or 4 sometimes. And it's not my scene. I really want to go check out, you know, a show out there just to kind of experience it, because from what I understand, it's like one of those full body experiences and everything.
It's big outdoor kind of festival stage vibe.
Yeah,
electronic music.
Electronic. Okay.
Oh
yeah.
Oh man,
I'll bring my son out there. Well, and also out here, man, is they've got the Plaza de Toros, and they've got the 812 Market that has some of the best conjunto and Tejano. And I'm from San Antonio, and so I love that music so much. And so, like,
just the way you said it, like it sounds.
Yeah, dude.
Like, this boot knows what he's talking about.
It's $2. The 812 Market on a Sunday. Get you a michelada about that big, and just go listen to some badass music. And everybody's awesome, just having a great time. And where's the next show?
It's
tonight,
okay.
8 to 11.
All right,
over on East 6th Street at Austin Garden.
Okay,
and we play kind of a, I don't know, testament to what you were saying earlier. Like our weekly schedule seems to really cover the bases of the various types of spots that you can play in Austin.
Okay, so what's like a typical Sunday night?
Well, you know, our week usually starts on Wednesday night.
Okay,
and we play midnight. That midnight slot at Continental.
Yep.
And we play over at Kind of Tropical on Thursdays right now. We've got a residency there while the weather is nice.
Yeah.
Outdoor patio, like very Austin.
It's a cool stage.
You know,
so
like
cool.
Austin patio vibes.
Yeah.
Like,
love the game.
And then like a Friday and Saturday kind of rotate, but that could be in a dance hall like Sagebrush, or
I love that
over
venue,
at
man.
Seaboys, or a big kind of outdoor, like armadillo den or drinks backyard kind of thing.
Y'all play drinks,
and then we'll end up in a club like Hole in the Wall or Hotel Vegas, and then we can really lean into some of the the higher energy kind of psychedelic stuff. So a week on our schedule can really take us through some really highly contrasting venues here in Austin.
We'll be at Drinks next Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
We'll be there.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. Yeah, that's a badass spot. They just opened it up, I don't know, about a year ago. And I've seen some great shows out there.
We love playing over there. The sound on the stage sound is awesome. Like the crew there and their whole rig is amazing.
Yeah. Well, shoot, guys. I appreciate y'all being here. And again, this is fun. This is just me just hanging out, and I really appreciate y'all taking the time to come kick it and getting to know y'all personally and getting to hear about what you're doing in the scene. And man, I could just feel that y'all are just doing everything right. You got a lot of things working for you, and I'm eternally grateful for y'all to be here. So thank y'all.
Oh man, we feel the same way, dude. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, we're just out here hanging out, talking about music, drinking a little whiskey or water or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, dude, that looks like a chemical.
Yeah, I haven't drank in a year and a half.
This is some sort of caffeine vitamin.
It's no brain
tastes
juice.
Blue.
It's
the green.
That's no
the drink
neotoxin.
is green, but it tastes blue.
Yikes.
Well, thanks again, guys.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Well, it's our pleasure, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. Know someone we should talk to? Give us a shout on Instagram at Austin Music People. Tell your friends, tell your family, and get out there and support Austin music.